Raw physical power does not make an anime villain dangerous. A monster that destroys a mountain is a threat. But a monster who breaks human nature, turns allies into weapons, and manipulates history, you get an extinction. You get an extinction event. Number 4. Johan Liebert. A man with 0 superpowers, 0 cursed energy, and absolutely no need for either. Johan doesn't need an energy blast to destroy a city. He can convince the people inside it to destroy themselves. That's what makes Johan terrifying. You can see a monster coming. You can't see a thought entering your mind. Johan doesn't need superpowers. He turns the human mind itself into a weapon. Johan Liebert. The terrifying part? You never see Johan's attack coming. By the time you realize he's there, the damage is already done. And that's what makes him terrifying. No magic, no superhuman strength, just a mind capable of destroying people from the inside. But Johan's danger is nothing compared to what comes next. Meruem. The ultimate biological weapon. Within weeks of his birth, Meruem could outthink humans, overpower elite fighters, and adapt to almost anything thrown at him. That's why humanity couldn't beat Meruem with strength. They had to resort to something far more desperate. And when humanity finally stopped him, it wasn't with a stronger warrior. It was with a weapon designed to kill almost everything. That's the terrifying part about Meruem. He wasn't just trying to defeat humanity. He had the potential to replace it. Johan can destroy people from within. Meruem could dominate them from the outside. That's a completely different level of danger. That's why Meruem takes number 3. Not because he was the strongest, but because humanity barely had a way to stop him. But Meruem still isn't number 2, because the next villain doesn't need evolution, superpowers, or an army of monsters. He needs one thing: war. Most villains destroy things to gain something. The Major destroys things because destruction itself is the prize. You can't bargain with him. You can't scare him. And you can't offer him peace, because he doesn't want peace. He spent decades building an army that didn't fear death. That's what made his war machine so terrifying. Meruem wanted to dominate humanity. The Major wanted something worse. A world where war itself never ends. That's why the Major ranks number 2. He didn't simply want to win a war. He wanted to turn the entire world into one. He didn't simply want to win a war. He wanted to turn the entire world into one. That's the difference between a villain who wants power and a villain who wants chaos. And then we reach number 1. The villain whose threat wasn't just an army, it was the entire planet. Eren didn't threaten the world. He unleashed the rumbling and turned an entire continent into a battlefield. But raw destruction isn't what makes Eren different. It's the conviction behind it. He genuinely believed he was protecting his people. Once Eren chose the rumbling, there was no going back. He wasn't testing a weapon. He had already decided to use it. And the result was catastrophic. By the end, roughly 80% of humanity was gone. That's why Eren takes the number 1 spot. Johan could destroy minds. Meruem could threaten humanity. The Major could create endless war. Eren could destroy the world. But here's the question that makes Eren impossible to rank so easily. Was he completely wrong, or did the world left him no other choice? Right or wrong, Eren became the most dangerous villain on this list because his conviction had the power to reshape the entire world. So here are our four. Johan destroys minds. Meruem threatens humanity. The Major worships war. Parin. The Major. And Eren brings the apocalypse. But here's where the ranking gets controversial. Should danger be measured by what a villain can destroy or what they actually choose to destroy? If we're measuring pure danger to humanity, the order stays the same. Johan at 4, Meruem at 3, the Major at 2, and Eren at number 1. But here's the twist. Being the most dangerous doesn't mean being the most evil. And that's where Eren becomes impossible to judge. But if we're judging who was actually right, the ranking gets much harder. Was Eren's choice justified, or was there another villain who had the better argument? So forget the power levels. Forget who wins in a fight. The real question is simple. Which villain had the strongest reason for what they did? Now it's your turn. Was Eren really the most dangerous, or did Johan, Meruem, or the Major deserve the number 1 spot? 4 villains. 4 completely different reasons, but only one question matters. Drop yours actually below.